For 6 days, a crocodile blocked the same riverbank. Everyone thought it was hunting, but when a ranger got close, he found something heartbreaking hiding beneath the water. In a quiet riverside village along the Shamble River in India, something strange had been happening for nearly a week. A huge crocodile over 20 feet long had been blocking the same section of the riverbank every single day. Morning to evening, it lay there, still, watching. People from the village started to worry. Fishermen avoided the area completely. No one wanted to walk near the water. Children were told not to play nearby. Some elders even claimed the riverbank was cursed. Others said the crocodile was guarding something. Or someone. But nobody knew the truth. All they saw was the same thing every day. The massive reptile lying just at the edge of the water, jaws slightly open, eyes locked on the river. The strange part? It never attacked. Birds flew near it, stray dogs walked by, even goats came close, and it did nothing. It didn't hunt, didn't move, didn't chase anything. It just stayed. Word spread fast, and soon it reached the local wildlife department. A young forest officer named Veer was sent to check it out. It was his first posting in the region, and villagers didn't expect much from him. But Veer was different. He wasn't scared. He was curious. When he arrived, he stood at a safe distance and watched. And just like the villagers had described, the crocodile was right there, not moving, not aggressive, just staring at the river. Veer stayed for 2 hours that day. He made notes, took photos, and returned the next morning. The croc was there again, same spot, same posture. On day 3, Veer started to notice a pattern. Every time a boat or a person tried to get close to that part of the river, the crocodile shifted. It blocked them, not by chasing, but by simply sliding its body in the way. That's when Veer knew this wasn't random. Something was going on. Why would a wild animal do this? Why here? Why now? Veer didn't have answers yet, but he made a decision. He would keep watching. And he would not leave until he found out what the crocodile was hiding. By day 4, Forest Officer Veer had seen enough to know this wasn't normal. Every morning the crocodile returned to the exact same spot. It didn't move much, didn't eat, didn't behave like any crocodile Veer had studied. It just stayed there, silently watching the water like a statue. Veer kept coming back. He brought binoculars, camera equipment, and even set up a small observation tent across the river. He stayed up late, hoping to catch something new, but all he saw was the same quiet behavior. No violence, no attacks, just guarding. On the 6th morning, something finally changed. Veer was drinking tea, half asleep, when he noticed a ripple in the water near the crocodile. At first he thought it was just a fish or floating branch, but then the ripple moved again, and it wasn't random. Something was under that log next to the crocodile. Veer grabbed his binoculars and zoomed in. There, barely visible beneath the fallen log, was a small shape moving in the water. It wasn't trash. It wasn't a fish. It was alive. It wriggled, struggled, moved in place, but couldn't swim away. Veer's eyes widened. Is that a baby? He radioed his team immediately. Bring the raft, bring the rescue net, and be careful. There's something stuck in the water near the big croc. 2 hours later the team arrived, 3 men in uniform, 1 rescue raft, and a long poled net. They stopped far back from the water. There it is, Veer pointed. Right under the log. Something's trapped. And the croc? One ranger asked, eyeing the massive beast still resting at the shore. She's not attacking, Veer said. She's guarding. We move slow. As the raft moved toward the log, the crocodile lifted her head. Her mouth opened slightly, not in a full threat, just enough to say, "Don't come closer." The men on the raft paused. "She's warning us," one whispered. "I know," Veer said, "but we have to check." They shifted the raft a little more. The water splashed quietly. Then they saw it. A baby crocodile, no more than a few months old, caught in a mess of fishing nets and plastic waste. Its body was tangled. It was trying to swim but couldn't move properly. The big crocodile moved again. Her massive body turned slightly toward the raft, tail stiff, eyes locked. One wrong move, and she could flip the boat in seconds. "Back off," Veer said. "Let me try from the shore." He picked up a long, hooked stick, crept along the bank, and reached for the log slowly, watching the mother the whole time. She watched him, too. Then, surprisingly, she didn't move. Veer hooked the net and pulled gently. It came loose with a jerk, and the baby croc floated forward. Still alive, breathing, the mother remained still. She didn't charge. She didn't snap. She just stared at Veer, her eyes calm and tired. He gently placed the baby in a bucket with a little water. It hissed weakly, exhausted but alive. As Veer stepped back, the mother crawled forward, not to attack but to reach her baby. Everyone held their breath. Then, in front of all of them, she gently nudged the bucket with her snout. Veer tipped it. The baby slid into the river and swam straight to her. The truth was out. This crocodile hadn't been blocking the river to threaten anyone. She was guarding her child. The baby crocodile swam weakly toward the adult, slow, unsteady, but alive. The moment it reached her, she lowered her massive head and gently brushed her snout along its back. It was hard to believe, but standing there on the muddy shore, Veer saw something he never expected from a crocodile. Relief? The rangers remained silent. None of them moved. No one dared break the moment. The two crocodiles drifted to the deeper part of the river, side by side. The mother occasionally nudged the baby, helping it stay above water. It wasn't just survival. It was care, protection, love. "She wasn't trying to hurt anyone," Veer finally said. "She's been here all this time because her baby was stuck." The other rangers looked at each other, stunned. "We thought she was guarding territory," one said. "We thought she was dangerous," another added. Veer nodded. But she was a mother, and no one noticed. He walked back up the slope and sat down, watching the water. The baby had returned to rest on a smooth rock near the shoreline. The mother positioned herself in front of it, again blocking the direct path from the land. She was still guarding, but now they all understood why. Veer opened his notebook and began writing everything down. He took photos, logged times, behavior, movement. It wasn't just a strange story anymore. It was a case of misunderstood behavior, and it mattered. Later that evening, Veer sat with the village elders and told them everything. At first, they were quiet. Then one of them spoke. "All this time we were afraid," he said. "But she wasn't our enemy. She was just a mother, doing what any mother would do." Word spread fast. The villagers who once feared the crocodile began to see her differently. They called her Ma, the Hindi word for mother. Children were told the story. People visited the riverbank just to catch a glimpse of her and her baby resting in the water. Local media picked up the story. Articles were written. Photos of Veer gently freeing the baby croc went viral online. Wildlife lovers from around the world praised the crocodile's patience, the ranger's calm, and the emotional truth hidden beneath the water's surface. A few days later, Veer visited again. The fishing nets and trash had been cleared from the river. Signs were posted warning people not to drop plastic or illegal fishing lines. The village had started its own cleanup effort. Ma was still there. But now she didn't lie at the edge of the bank all day. She'd swim, sunbathe, disappear, and return with her baby following close behind. She no longer had to guard one spot. Her mission had changed. Her child was free. Veer stood watching, arms folded, a small smile on his face. "She didn't block the river because she was dangerous," he whispered. "She blocked it because she was desperate." Behind him, someone tapped his shoulder. It was a young girl from the village, no more than 7. She held a small painted board in her hands. Veer looked down and read it aloud. "Not a monster, just a mother." He nodded and placed it gently in the ground near the path. That evening, as the sun dipped low and the river turned orange, Ma and her baby rested in the water once more. Not feared, but respected. Weeks passed, but the story of the mother crocodile never faded. Visitors continued to arrive at the Chamble River, not to fear her, but to admire her. Schools brought children to teach them about wildlife behavior. Tourists quietly watched from a distance, hoping to catch a glimpse of Ma and her baby resting in the current. The village, once known for its fishing, was now known for something more powerful: compassion. Veer continued his patrols, but every now and then he'd return to that familiar spot along the river. Ma would be there, sunbathing on the rocks, her baby stretched beside her like a shadow. She never approached anyone. She didn't need to. Her message had already been heard loud and clear. She wasn't a beast. She wasn't blocking territory. She was simply doing what all mothers do, protecting what matters most. One afternoon, Veer noticed something new near the river trail. A wooden sign, hand-carved by the village children. It read, "Respect every creature. You never know what story it's guarding." He smiled. In that moment he knew this wasn't just a wildlife rescue. It was a reminder that even in the wildest places, love speaks the loudest. And sometimes it roars without a sound.